Hey, what's up YouTube? This is Youthman. In this video, we're gonna do one final comparison between the SVS PB3000 and Dual Klipsch R-115SW Subwoofers. Now, before we get into the video, if you're into home theater, audio, and video, hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell notification so that you'll be notified when the next video drops. All right, guys, yesterday I posted a video comparing the Klipsch R-115SW subwoofer to the PB3000 subwoofer. And a lot of you guys were saying, oh man, Michael, that was an unfair comparison because the Klipsch is only like 700 bucks and the PB3000 is $1,400. There's totally different amps, totally different size woofers. I get it. What I'm doing is just trying to compare my comparisons and just share with you my experiences. But a lot of you guys wanted to know how well will the Dual R-115SW subwoofers kind of match up with the single PB3000. So this video, we're just going to try out some things. I want to jump into REW, which is Room EQ Wizard. We'll do some measurements with a single PB3000, and then we'll take one of the R-115SW subwoofers, put it in the same location, add the second subwoofer, and let's take some measurements, and let's just see how they compare. So with that said, let's jump into REW. Okay, so here we are inside of Room EQ Wizard. This is a free software that you can download from the internet on Room EQ Wizard's website, and you hook that up to your laptop, run the install, and then you connect it with a calibration microphone like you see right here. That's the Mini DSP UMIK-1 that I'll be using in this testing. And so the first thing we want to do before we do any kind of testing is we're going to go into the setup of the receiver. I have a Marantz SR8012, so I'm going to go into setup. I'm going to come up here to audio. I'm going to come down here to Odyssey. And we're going to make sure that Odyssey is turned off. Now, the reason why you want to do that is because I've already run Odyssey on the receiver and it was calibrated for a particular set of speakers. So we don't want Odyssey kind of skewing the results based on which subwoofer it EQ'd for. And so I've got Odyssey turned off, so we'll go ahead and back out of this. And so now we're back into Room EQ Wizard. And so I've got one subwoofer connected. Right now it's the Klipsch R-115SW. So now we're going to come up here and click Measure. And we're going to be doing a sweep, basically a frequency sweep from 10 Hertz up to 200 Hertz with these settings here. So we've got -12 on the level and 512K for the length. And so all the other settings we're going to leave alone. We're going to click Start Measuring for the first subwoofer by itself. All right, so there we have our first measurement. So I'm going to come up here to the top left, and we're just going to type in first R1, we'll call it, we'll just do first R-115SW, and that way we keep them organized. So we'll run 3 different tests. We'll do, actually we'll do 4 different tests. We'll do an individual R-115, we'll do the other individual R-115, then we'll do both of the R-115, and then we'll swap out the first R-15 for the PB3000 and run a 4th and final and see how those compare. So this is the frequency sweep. So if you're not familiar with REW, basically what this does is show you on a graph each frequency. So down here you can see we started at 10 Hertz. It ran the frequency sweep. There's 20, 30, 40, 50, all the way over to, we ran it to 200, but I'm only showing to 100 because most of the time you're going to be crossing over in your receiver between, say, 70, 80. Some guys run it down to 60, but really all we need to do is see from 10 to 80. And so that's what we're going to be looking at right in here. And if you're looking at this graph over here, you can see it starts off at 70 dB and goes up to 115 dB. So you can see at 10 Hertz, the single R-115 played at 85 decibels. At about 18 Hertz, It played at, say, that's probably about 92 decibels. And then you can see we've got a big peak here, so that's a little bit of boominess. We got a little dip here, so that's kind of a null. And then, you know, the rest is here. So let's go ahead and run the second test. So first thing we need to do is I'm going to walk back here and turn off the first subwoofer. Then I'm going to walk to the second R-115SW, turn that one on, and now we can come back over here and we're going to click measure and measure our second R-115SW by itself. Okay, so there's our second one. So one thing we need to do to be able to see both of those graphs overlaid on top of each other, we come up here to this all SPL. And so when I click that, now you can see the first measurement we took, which was the red line. That was the R-115, the first one. And then the second one was this green line right here. So you can already see you have different frequency responses depending on where it is in your room. And so let's come up here. We'll call this second R-115SW. So now what we want to do is we want to have both of the subwoofers playing. So I'm going to come back here to the first subwoofer and turn it back on. So now we've got both R-115SW subwoofers turned on. And we're going to take our third measurement, come up here to measure, start measuring. All right, and so here you can see this third line. Let's go ahead and name it. So I'm just going to call this Dual R-115SW. And so the green line, or actually I guess down here, the red line was the first one. The green line in the middle right here is the second one. And the third line is basically both of them playing. And so let me just turn these off. So down at the bottom, you can kind of toggle each one of these on and off. So you can kind of see here, this was the first one. And this is with both of them. See how much flatter that was? You got more gain right here. So we can see we got about, pretty much about a 6 decibel gain. So you can see it went from, say, 85 to about 91, looks like. So there's about a 6 decibel gain through that region, the lower regions. Right here we were about basically the same, and then right here we had another probably about 6 or 7 decibel difference, and then here not so much. And so the biggest thing that you can do with dual subwoofers is you definitely get more gain overall, but a lot of times it'll help balance out the frequency response. You can see in my room I still have this funky dip right here. I'll turn off the red one. So this is with both subwoofers playing. So you can see it's pretty flat except for right here. I've got to figure out what's causing this in my room. I've tried a bunch of different placements. If you checked out my previous video, one of my previous videos, I did some comparisons between single R-115 and the dual R-115, but I haven't compared that yet to a single PB-3000. And a lot of you guys kept commenting, man, do a comparison, do a comparison, do a comparison. So that's what we're doing in this video. So we've got the first one, we've got the second one, and then we've got both of them combined. And so let's go ahead and leave those there. So I'm going to pause the video because I physically have to move one of the subwoofers out of the way and then put the PB-3000 in the exact same location. All 3 subwoofers are calibrated at, I believe I calibrated them at 75 decibels on my dB meter, so that each one of them individually are playing at the same volume. And so let me pause the video. I'll get that subwoofer swapped out, and we'll do our fourth and final test. Okay, so I have swapped the R-115SW for the PB-3000. We're going to come up here to the other R-115SW, I'm just going to make sure that the subwoofer's turned off. So we're good there. And so now we're going to run our fourth test, and this is just on the PB3000. But before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and turn off the single R115 and the second R115. So this line here is the dual R115SW subwoofer. So let's go ahead and take our fourth and final measurement. Actually, I'm going to do one more at the end. So let's just go ahead and click measure. All right, so during that test, definitely the lower frequencies did not sound that great. And you can kind of see right here, I'll tell you what, I'm going to go over here. I'm going to click on this color. Let's change it to red. It'll make it easier to see. So you can see right here, this definitely did not perform near as well as the R115SW. So basically what we're looking at here is, let me turn off the red one. So this was the dual R115SW. So you can see this line is pretty much, I mean, it's not like totally flat, but it's definitely pretty good except for right here. We've got this big null in my room. So I've had that issue here with the R115 SW subwoofers in their placement where they're at. And so I'm going to come over here to this section here, and we're going to call this SVS PB3000. And we're going to go ahead and turn back on that. Okay, so now we're looking at both of those overlaid. So the blue is the dual R115SW Klipsch subwoofers, and the red is the PB3000. And so you can see right here in the middle, so this frequency is about 22 hertz up to, looks like about 45 hertz. The SVS definitely has the advantage. We got a lot more output. Below 22 hertz, you can see the Klipsch subwoofers actually had more output. Actually quite a bit more output compared to the SVS. And then over to the right, the Klipsch actually had more output from, let's say, about 45 hertz all the way over to 80 hertz. And so anyway, you guys wanted to see how do the dual R115SW subwoofers compare to a single PB3000. And so looking at this, I mean, honestly, it's hard to tell, like, all right, is there a clear winner? You've got more output here for one subwoofer. You've got more output here for the other subwoofer. You got more output down here for, you know, the Klipsch. So maybe it depends on, you know, what frequencies you want. But this one definitely, if I turn off the Klipsch, this one definitely looks kind of more, I don't know, maybe not as even. We definitely got this big null here. We got this big boost up here. And then we've got, you know, a lot of loss of output. And I think that was done intentionally by SVS. They, from my understanding, looking at their website, they have pretty much a steep roll off on their, like in the built-in DSP. So we can see that there. So I'm going to turn that one back on, the dual R115SW. And then I want to do one more test while we've got this already set up. I just want to see what happens when we seal both of the ports on the PB3000 while we've got it already set up. So I'm going to pause the video. I'll put both of the foam ports in there. I'll go into the SVS app, and basically you've got to tell it that you're using a sealed configuration, and then it changes some of the settings inside the amplifier. And then I'll be right back. Okay, so I have placed both foam inserts into the PB3000 ports, and in the SVS app, I have changed that to sealed in the port tuning. So we're going to come back up here to measure, and we're going to click start measuring. All right, so first thing I want to do, I'm just going to turn off the dual R115s so that we can see the difference. I'm going to come over here and we'll change this to SVS PB3000, and this is sealed. All right, so you can see what happened here just by changing it from ported to sealed. Looks like we've got less output from, let's say, about 37 hertz roughly. So we start losing some output right here. Still have pretty much the same, frequency response as far as, the path that it takes. So we lose output here quite a bit. And then right about here, which is, if I click here, so that's about 15 hertz. At 15 hertz, we don't have that drop off like we did. So we maintain output and actually gain a little bit output down here to 10 hertz. And so if you're looking for kind of more extension, you want to seal it. If you're looking for more output, then that's where you would have it ported. And then of course, if we come back down here and turn on the Dual R-115s, so now you can kind of see how all three of those compare. So again, the red line here is the PB3000 in standard mode. So that's both ports open. Then we've got the blue line, which is the Dual Klipsch R-115SW Subwoofers. So you can see that path right there. And then the third and final graph is the green one, which is the SVS PB3000, and that was in the sealed configuration. All right, guys, well, hopefully you found this video helpful. As you can see, we have compared the Klipsch R-115SW in a dual configuration, comparing that to a single SVS PB3000, but we also compared that in both standard mode and sealed mode. So, all right, well, I'm gonna wrap up the video here. Hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, you guys be blessed, and we'll catch you in the next video.